Hello everyone, RC Exam MMA here. Welcome back to the channel. I've wanted to make this video for a while now, but I couldn't quite remember all of my favorites. As you may notice, there's some numbers on the side of my screen here. Today I want to do a video on my top favorite UFC walkouts of all time. This list is going to be completely subjective, and my criteria is all over the place. These are just my favorites. So if you feel that I've missed a iconic or great walkout song, please put it in the comments below. Some of these are literally just because they're one of my favorite songs, and then other ones are, crowd reactions and or like if the song is associated with a particular fighter and how like iconic it is to their image and things like that. Some of them are based on the timing of the song and like the storyline of the fights and all that. So with that being said, we're going to get into it, but before that, I would like it. So I live in a town with 1,300 people, okay? We've got farmers that have egg stands. They leave a jar on their egg stand, and they trust their neighbors to put the $5 in for the carton of eggs. I'm going to trust all of you as my neighbors to please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't even cost $5, it's free, and you'll probably forget that you did it anyways, and then that way you'll just help me out, and it'll greatly appreciate it. So we're going to get started with a quick one here. This one's completely subjective. It's just one of my favorite songs. It was Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, Walking Out to Give Me Shelter by the Rolling Stones. I'm going to not be playing any of the songs to avoid copyright claims. It's simple. So, sorry for my rudimentary setup here, but yeah. Give Me Shelter is one of my all-time favorite songs. Who knows if Nogueira even picked this song, because I've heard stories of Dana White axing walkout songs and picking some for fighters. This Antonio, obviously early days of the UFC, and he speaks English fairly well, but who knows, he may have picked it. But yeah, one of my favorites, so I put it on number 10, just simply because of that. Number 9, we've got Darren Till, Walking Out to Sweet Caroline. Now, I don't even like this song particularly, but there's no arguing that like it's an iconic song, because clearly the UK fans love it, and when he walks out to it, the whole crowd sings and goes like fucking mad. So, and it's super cool to hear the whole crowd sing along, and then him just walking out, taking in the moment. Particularly the one that I have in mind is when he walked out to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, because I believe that fight did take place in the UK, and the crowd went nuts for it, man. And so it's just cool to see. Number 8, Jose Aldo. I'm sure if you're an MMA fan, you know what song this is. Run This Town by I think Jay-Z, Kanye West, and Rihanna. I don't even particularly like this song, and if Jose Aldo didn't walk out to it, I would never listen to it. But it's just one of those, like, whenever I hear the song or any small amount of that song, immediately my brain goes to Jose Aldo with his knee up little run on the spot that he does there, and it's just iconic, man. And everybody knows when they hear that song whose song that is when they walk out to it. And even if somebody walks out to it in the future, man, it'll be Jose Aldo. Number 7. Now this one may surprise some people. I don't know. For reference, oh, that's bright as shit. Jesus. I am a gamer. I like to play video games, so Curtis Blades, if you don't know, walks out to the Mortal Kombat theme song, which I think is pretty dope. I don't really enjoy watching Curtis Blades fight. I mean, he's had decent knockout decent performances as of late, but before, he's pretty wrestle heavy and a little boring. But I'm a gamer, so I appreciate when people are able to find a good song that I recognize immediately because I've played the games. Number 6. This one may get some hate now because of the artist, but Frank Mir, when he walked out to why the fuck won't it stay in a decent spot? Okay, whatever. Frank Mir, when he walked out to Amazing by Kanye West, he was fighting Brock Lesnar, or at least this is the one that comes to mind when I think of this song. He was fighting Brock Lesnar. At the time that song was popping, Kanye West was actually good. I mean, dude, if I'm being honest, there's only a few songs I like by him anyways, and this is one of them. And some of the other ones don't even, it's because of the feature. Yeah. I'm one of those dudes that doesn't like Kanye West music. I don't see what the big deal about it is. But, this song, undeniably, when he walked out to me, I remember where I was, what grade I was in. I remember we were at my buddy's house. We had all pitched $5 in to buy the pay-per-view. His parents were away in Mexico, and we were all sitting there watching, excited beyond belief. And when Frank Mir walked out to that song, goddamn, dude, we got hype. So I had to put it in here. That's why I didn't put it in the top 5, though. I don't particularly enjoy Kanye West music, but that song fucking slaps, dude. It's a banger. Okay, number 5. Corey Sandhagen, when he walks out to "Gimme the Loot" by Notorious B.I.G. He's gonna be the only Notorious B.I.G. song walkout on here. And I know that there's some other great ones, like Frankie Edgar walks out to "Kick in the Door" by Notorious B.I.G. sometimes, or a lot of times, and Conor McGregor, obviously, walking out to Notorious. "Gimme the Loot," though, is my favorite Biggie walkout, because it's one of those songs that, like, not a lot of people really know about. If you're, like, just sort of I guess, for lack of a better term, like a casual Biggie fan or casual hip-hop fan, but "Gimme the Loot" is a goddamn banger. I love this song. And when he walked out to it, I was like, goddamn, dude, he's got a good taste in music, And it's just, yeah. I guess Frankie Edgar's one is a little less unknown, especially compared to Conor's. But I wasn't going to go and put 3 Notorious B.I.G. songs on a top 10 list, because that would just take up too much space. And, the way Corey walks out to his song goes quite well with it. Like, he's all hype, and it's like, a good upbeat song. Number 4. This one, I might be a little biased, because this next, number 4, he's my favorite fighter. And I don't really like the song that much. Robert Whittaker. So, I'm sure, oh my fucking God. Hey, bro, stay still. There we go. Okay. If you're an MMA fan, you know what song I'm talking about, because he's only not walked out to it maybe a handful of times, maybe even once, I don't know. But Robert Whittaker walks out to "Can't Be Touched" by Roy Jones Jr. The song is iconic because it's Roy Jones Jr. If any other rapper put out that song, I don't think it would have been a hit. It's catchy, and it's a good song to hype you up, but overall, in my opinion anyways, so like people might get mad, but overall skill and level of like rap and hip hop, I'm not too fond of it. I can listen to it now and again if I'm working out or something, but whenever Robert Whittaker is walking out, he adds to it, man, and I get hype, and I like the song all over again. Like, I used to listen to it when I was 13, I just find it a little corny, unless it's blasting while the Reaper is walking to the cage. And I will say this. As far as fighters who have tried to become rappers, Roy Jones Jr. is way better than Tyron Woodley. So he's got that going for him. Yeah, Tyron Woodley tried to make like his own hype fight song, and it was fucking trash. And Roy Jones has got him beat by quite a bit. But I mean, that bar is pretty low, if we're being honest. Okay, number 3. Some people might think of one song. I've thought of another. Uh-oh, I don't know. Now they're mixed up. Shit. Yeah, Nate Diaz. Okay. Nate Diaz walks out to a couple of songs as well. He'll walk out to Ambitions of a Rider by Tupac, and then sometimes it will switch halfway, kind of like how Connor plays the, I don't know, is it the Irish national anthem or whatever, and then it switches to the Notorious. But Nate will sometimes have on Ambitions of a Rider, and then it switches to the song that I'm thinking of, which is The Way I Am by Eminem. Now, I love that song, personally. But on another note, when I look at Nate Diaz, man, I don't think of like a gangster. So when he's bumping the Ambitions of a Rider to Tupac, I'm like, come on, G. Like, it's just not, it just seems like he's trying too hard when he's playing that song. I don't know. That could be bullshit, dude. But I like Biggie better than Tupac. I'm one of those guys, so maybe I'm a little clouded by that. Yeah. But The Way I Am, I feel like, is the perfect song for Nate Diaz to walk out to. Like, literally. There is not another song on the face of the fucking planet that encapsulates who Nate Diaz is better than The Way I Am. It doesn't. You know, he is who he is, and if he wasn't, then why would he say he is, you know? And, yeah, it just fits his personality, man. It's perfect for Nate, and I don't think I've ever heard anybody else walk out to it, which is crazy, because it is a fucking banger, dude. I know a lot of people, hip-hop heads, think that Eminem's songs are, like, good for a one-time listen when the album comes out, but you'll never be caught dead bumping it in the car. Man, this is one of those songs, and I disagree with that take anyways, but that might just be because of the shade of my skin. Just kidding. But racism aside, yeah, banger of a song. Fits his personality perfect. Whenever you hear it, you know who's walking the fuck out. I mean, you know who's walking out anyways because you're watching the fights and you know who's coming up next, but yeah, it just fits his personality. Now this next one, I could have picked a lot of songs, but again, I didn't want to take up too much space on my list. So I had to I'm just going to go with the name. I'll mention a few that he's walked out to, but I had to just put his name on here because otherwise he would have taken up way too much space. Tai Tuivasa. Fuck, come on, man. When he walks out to anything unconventional, oh my good lord. Okay, we're just going to leave it there. I don't give a shit, dude. It won't stay where I want it to stay. Tai Tuivasa, though, walks out to Cyndi Lauper, Girls Wanna Have Fun, fucking the Titanic song, dude. And it's funny because, like, again, like I've said, up at the top of the list, I've heard stories of Dana axing people's songs because he's like, fucking, what is this, dude? This isn't going to get the crowd hype. And the Titanic, like, who would have ever thought, you know? But because people love Tai Tuivasa, people love his walkouts. And he also comes out to Barbie Girl. Girls Wanna Have Fun, like I said. The list goes on. I think he even came out to, like, Vanessa Hudgens. No, that's not the correct song. That's not the correct artist. That song? I know how it goes. I'm not fucking singing it, though. I knew it was Vanessa. 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton. I'm pretty sure he walked out to that. I could be wrong. But that's a low-key banger, too. If you're okay with, if you're secure with your sexuality and you can admit that you like some female music artists. Like, personally, I love Adele. So, I appreciate his walkouts every time. He's just a fun dude. And, yeah, man. I can't put a song to him because they're all good. And if I had to pick an individual song, he'd be on here 3 fucking times. Okay, number 1. Happened very recently. Some of you may be thinking, well, who the fuck? You got all these bangers up here. Who could possibly come in at number 1? And it may surprise some of you guys. Because he's an older dude. He's a fucking Eastern Bloc guy, right? I guess, technically. Which typically aren't known for their, like, fantastic taste in music. I'm just kidding. Okay? But all of the songs I've picked so far are, like, Western shit. We'll just get right in. Jan Blachowicz, man. Jan Blachowicz, sorry. Fucking try to sound shit out too much. I know how to say his goddamn name. Jan Blachowicz. Walking out to Skyrim, man. It's goated. It's goated. Him walking out to Skyrim is absolutely goated. It is the best walkout of all time, in my opinion, in any gamer on the face of the planet. It's, even if you're like a fantasy nerd, Volkan Ozdemir walked out to the Game of Thrones theme song. The problem is the sound quality was horrible, so you could faintly hear it in the background. And I went, oh hey, he's walking out to Game of Thrones. It just didn't sound that good. When Jan Blachowicz walked out to the Skyrim theme song, that thing was blasting, banging, like bass going, and goddamn, dude, it got me shaking. I was shaking. I was like, this is the coolest walkout song of all time, by far. And yeah, dude, it was cool. And apparently he's actually a gamer too. It sounded so good on the sound system. And like, if you played video games, that probably, tickled your fancy. It was like, I mean, especially if you're into RPGs and shit like that, because Skyrim is one of the most iconic RPGs of all time. People still play it today. It came out like 11 fucking years ago or something like that, And just, it was the last thing I expected, I guess, from, I don't know why, but an older Polish dude. He's almost 40. And he's walking out to Skyrim. But apparently he's actually a gamer, and he plays games like The Witcher, which makes sense because the guy that wrote those books is from Poland. Like, those books were originally written in Poland. I think they had to, or Polish, sorry. I think they had to be translated to English, actually. Yeah, dude, it got me hype, and I'm like, I want him to win. And it did not cloud my judgment on whether or not I agreed with the decision. That fight was a draw. The Weasel can say whatever the fuck he wants. A draw was the most perfect outcome. I know that the judges were all over the place, but thank God that one dude scored it a draw, because one dude had it for Jan and one dude had it for Ankalaev, and they were both fucking wrong, okay? But his walkout song was fantastic, and I really hope he chooses to walk out to it again. Now, with all that being said, again, the carton of eggs, the jar at the egg stand, just hit subscribe, you fuckers. Please. I greatly appreciate it. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here and go record another video on Adrian Yanez and Rob Font. So, ta-ta.